don't speak to children's services because they're going to take your kids away.
Hi everyone, it's Diversity TV bringing you the Untold Story for the week of October 29, 2021 from our studio located in River Valley in Edmonton, the capital city of Alberta in Canada. Hosted by Emi Batoum, sponsored by Razy Plumbing and Heating, now offering unbeatable deals for water heaters and furnaces. Here are the headlines for this week. Don't talk to children's services, they will take your child. AJFAS invited childcare organizations to share childcare services in Alberta. Multicultural voices in Edmonton are heard as far as Ottawa as Ramsey becomes the minister. Edmonton Chamber of Commerce is reaching out to multicultural business associations. Now, the news in full. Segment 1.
Don't speak to children's services because they're going to take your kids away.
AJFAS invited childcare organizations to share childcare services in Alberta.
But what I hear a lot of is that don't speak to children's services because they're going to take your kids away. And what I'm here to say today, that's false. We really do not want children in care. Our whole premises is to keep children with family at all, just about every possible angle that we can. And so what I want to help alleviate and what we're trying to do in communicating to the community is that we're not there to bring children into care. There is no remuneration, points, or anything of that sort for a child coming into care. And so I do want to tout that out there, that to alleviate that fearfulness that we're trying to be collaborative in the community, and that stigma that children's services takes children into care and that's it, is a false perception that folks have. I must say, I cannot speak to individual situations, but overall situation, the fact is that we're trying to keep families together.
Segment 2. Finding beauty products for darker skin types is like finding a fallen grain of sand on the beach. Hear from Dr. Bogda, the man that has invested his pharmacological expertise to fix that problem.
The acne problem, you have to think to solve the inflammation problem on the skin. That's why we use the chamomile extract on the cleansing lotion, try to clean deeply and start solving the problem of inflammation on the skin. Then we have to balance the pH. We know that the pH is really important of the skin health. If you have an unbalanced pH, you more likely have some bacterial infection, yeast infection due to the pH. So this botanical toner with tamarind extracts is there to balance the pH, give a deep cleaning on your face, opening the pores so that all the active ingredient from the other product will go deeply to the derma. Then secondly, the magic product, this is a vitamin C. We all know that the vitamin C is one of the potent antioxidants that the mother nature gifted us. Yeah, so we added the hyaluronic acid in there. We also added the go-to color. The go-to color helped to increase the blood flow under the derma so that the oxygen, bring more oxygen into the skin and more life into the skin. That's what this do. And also a potent anti-inflammatory and also bacteriostatic. What does that mean? Bacteriostatic means blocking the bacteria to grow, because one of the components of the RNA in certain people is bacterial infection. So this does block the bacteria to grow and give the chance to our immune system to completely destroy those bacteria and win the infection. So we can clear the RNA definitely. Of course, after bringing all those active ingredients into the skin needs to be moisturized. Bring more water on the skin. The skin needs to be, to breathe. And to do that, this is what we formulated at our 24-hour daily cream. You apply on the skin, and it brings more moisture, more active ingredient like blueberry extract, pomegranate extract. Those are anti-aging products, and it's a wonderful product. What I'm going to say is that this is a whole family product, right? All our natural ingredients we use, and one of the things is that all the products are made in Canada.
Segment 3. Fashion and Beauty Time on Diversity TV. KYN April sales end at the end of the month with 80% off on all inventory. Segment 4. Before we actually went into the loan program BESP, they paired me with mentors to help me grow my business. Shown on BESP on Diversity TV. BESP recipient Sean joins two fantastic ladies, Alexandra from RBC and Mona Lisa from Futurepreneur, to share not just the good news of BESP, but also how the Black Entrepreneur Program Startup program has transformed his business. Hear directly from Alexandra, Mona Lisa, and Sean.
Why support young Black entrepreneurs with this program? The Black Entrepreneur Startup Program, fondly known as BESP, it comes with a whole lot of great benefits. First, capital injection. We all appreciate the importance of capital injection to every business. Secondly, creation of employment. We're not just creating employment directly for that entrepreneur, but we are also creating indirect employment, because there is that web designer who is going to design his website. There is that truck driver who will deliver his goods. So there is both direct and indirect employment. And finally, multiculturalism. We foster multiculturalism because with the exchange of cultures, the economy thrives, the economy grows.
If you are a young Black entrepreneur and you're aged between 18 to 39 and you're looking for funding for your business, then you definitely need to check out Futurepreneur's Black Entrepreneur Startup Program funded by RBC. It's an excellent program that has been created to address specific barriers faced by young Black entrepreneurs. Our goal is to truly help you be successful in launching your business. And we also offer you a mentor along the way for 2 years after you receive funding to help you scale and properly grow. So do not hesitate to go on our website to contact us if you need more information. We are there to help you. Thank you.
My name is Sean Raymond, and I'm with Sean Bard Training. I am here to tell you about the BESP program with Futurepreneur. Not only has this program helped inject capital funding into my business, it has helped me grow my entrepreneurial business far more rapidly than I would have ever been able to think or come to beforehand. This program gives me mentorship that allows me to grow my business for 2 years after the funding has been released. And not only has that support helped me grow, it has also given me the confidence to make the decisions and the choices that I need to make my business as successful as it has been this year.
Segment 5. Straight Talk COVID and Our People. I had individual dialogue with some community members that are hesitant to get vaccinated for one reason or another. Mojis continues. Oh, somebody said they don't know the future ramification of this vaccine, naming COVID-19. You are worried about the future. What if you die now? You won't have the future to worry about. If you die, who takes care of your children? Moji Taiwo, host of the Immigrant Experience show on Straight Talk COVID and Our People. So, this causes me to ask you this question. Have you taken the COVID-19 vaccine? If yes, what made you take it? But if no, why not? Listen to what some community leaders have to say on the issue of COVID vaccine.
It goes from, oh, somebody told me that if you get vaccinated, there is a chip being implanted into you, or somebody in my church said that, you know, they don't know the future ramification of it. So therefore, so that this is where I have a candid, really candid, basic conversation with the person. I say, okay, so you are worried about the future, but what if you die now? You won't have the future to worry about. But at least if you get vaccinated now, you protect yourself, you protect your children, you save, you know, if you die, who's going to take care of your children? And on and on. So sometimes this is where we go back to those basic candid discussions and say, yes, I will not debate what they've heard. What I would talk about is what is real for now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the ramification of the vaccine in the future. I can't say that we're all going to die at the same time or we're going to live forever. But what I can say is that for right now, if you get sick, it will affect your children, if you affect your earning powers, and if you die, what's going to become of your children?
When you talk to people on the ground, they tell you the real problems. And it blows my mind when you take these feedback from the community and try to present it to authorities at the top, they dismiss it. Blows my mind as to why that happens very often. I don't know. During the pandemic, when government brought up programs to reach those who need help with food, and they realized through their own data, not data generated by the racialized communities, through their own data that they generated through the big organizations, that of all the Africans in Alberta or Calgary, and Alberta was less than 10% were accessing help. Okay, and they kept asking why, and they were coming up with two theories. Oh, it is information. We need to put information in different languages. When they called us, it took a minister, Mr. Rajan Soni, said, no, we've done this and we are getting the same results. Something is wrong somewhere. Called the community leaders and said, what is the problem on the ground? And we just give them the blueprint. First and foremost, people from Africa and other countries don't beg for food. Mm-mm. When I am hungry, it is my neighbor next door that knows I am hungry. They will cook and bring me food. So if you're leaving a 1-800 number that somebody should call and get help, is not gonna come. Let us trust us, let us get food to people who need it. We know how to do it. And then the whole argument about trust and to organization, who should we give the help to? And these organizations are stuck in their old ways of doing things that do not work for the immigrant communities because they work differently. Culturally, they are different. The way they relate is different. It is based on trust and respect. And if you don't have the trust and the respect, forget it. Nothing's going to get done. They trusted us, give us some I would say 1/100th of the money they've been doling out to these big organizations. And within 2 weeks, we were serving thousands and upon thousands of families with food and much needed help. Okay. When it came to the vaccine, the same thing. All we heard was an announcement that $4 million has been given to this organization. $5 million has been given to this organization to do vaccine drive. And my eyes were like, oh my God, they did the same thing again. They did the same thing. That hasn't worked for community. They did the same thing again. So we have to push. Now, it will interest you to know that we got $30,000 to do vaccine drive. $30,000 for the entire African community in Caribbean. 30,000. And even that, it was the minister who had to push and push and push and tell them that we don't bypass this. And as I said, we had clinics at Ikram Joma, we had clinics at the other mosque, we had clinics at Somali Center, and people came out and got vaccinated. And I told the minister, now you realize that the communities know how their communities work. So you need to give them the resources and empower them and allow their leaders do the work. Vaccine clinic, coordinate with an imam. Tell the imam, we want to come to you. How do we get your people vaccinated? He is going to tell you how it's going to be done, and it will be done. Get to the grassroots organizations, give them money to organize campaigns, to get volunteers, to send messages out that this is in our community. Come out and come and get help. Honorable Shepherd, I don't know how many times I have to say this. It is frustrating. It is infuriating. It is demeaning that you cannot trust African organizations with $1 million to get the work done, but you can trust another organization with $10 million to get nothing done. Mind-blowing. So these are practical problems that grassroots organizations in the end that are serving the communities are facing. They have been starved of financial resource help. So they are not able to even get involved. They always bypass them. They don't get them involved. They don't seek their opinions until when they realize that all that they've done does not work. Then they come back to us looking for solutions, looking for ways. Before they started the hotel quarantine, they came out and I told them, do you know in immigrant homes, how many families are there? Okay, we have grandpa, grandma, dad, mom, kids, cousin, and maybe a visitor. Okay, so if dad is positive, he has nowhere to go. He is an immigrant. He has only one place to live, his house. Can you allow these people to isolate in hotels? We kept drumming this and drumming. Finally, they saw that, oh, this could be helpful. They started implementing the hotel isolation. And instantly, they saw numbers plummeting in the racialized communities. So the solutions are there because they are not identical to what they are used to. They always dismiss them. And that is problematic. That is problematic. So I'm letting you know this. And when you're talking to your colleagues, let them know that the grassroots organizations have solutions. Practical, tried and trusted solutions to get a job done. And most of the things that they've not been able to do, grassroots organization will deliver on them. Thank you.
It's really amazing because the solution is there, but yet ignored, right? And it may also be that because there's no formal, research, documented, evidence, around that. But right now, there's that opportunity. You can see the evidence all over the place. All the criticism, that went through to Dr. Henshaw was based on a lot of research, and all that this may not work. I've not heard anybody saying this will not work, but it's a gamble that the government has taken. Let's hope, cross our fingers that gamble is not going to result into, something. So I don't know. I think looking at the future, I'm actually more interested in what are we going to do, right? Going forward. We can't look back anymore, but what are we doing going forward to set the stage, for success, to prevent something like this from happening in future? I think that's where I see where we should put our efforts, right? To make sure that, communities are safe.
As much as we want to be rid of it, and I do as much as anybody, I want folks to be able to go back to normal lives. So as others have observed, what is normal has probably changed. So, but we have to recognize that we still have more to do, that there are still people and communities and individuals who are at risk. There's still things that we need to learn. So again, the decisions that have been made recently, they concern me for that reason, as it just feels it may be just too much of a rush to try to put this behind us without having properly learned the lessons and taken the steps to ensure we are protecting everybody, and recognizing indeed that, for example, as Charles said, racialized communities have been hit harder. They are struggling. Women were hit harder economically. The impacts have been disparate, and I'm concerned that in a rush back to normal, we are going to lose the lessons we have learned about those who need help and systems that we need to change in our government and in our society. I really appreciate what Moji had to say about what we have learned about innovating, learning, and adapting. And indeed, that has been the case for so many during this pandemic. Indeed, we've had many that have been impacted and have needed additional help. We have had many that have been able to adapt, use resources that were available, indeed groups that have supported each other. And as she said, really important that we take the opportunity to learn from that, rather than, again, rushing ahead to try to just reset everything. Make sure we have learned from what we have learned from the folks that have found new ideas, new perspectives that we can use. And indeed, that is what Sam was saying as well. He talked about this being a bit of a gamble, what the government is doing, and indeed it is. And we have to look at who is at most at risk if that gamble does not pay off.
Segment 6. What do we have for Diversity TV International? Sudanese take to the streets after the military takes over power by force, with the Prime Minister locked up in the home of the army chief in violation of a power-sharing deal in a unity government shared with civilians leaders. Brazil Senate approves a report that calls for President Bolsonaro to be indicted for 9 crimes related to his handling of the COVID pandemic, including crimes against humanity. This is the first of its kind that a person in power is indicted for inaction in COVID leading to death. In rare criticism of Israeli government, the Biden administration slams plans to build thousands of settlement units on Palestinian land after thousands have already been built. Segment 7. What do we have for food this week? This week, we took a dive into the delicious, natural, locally made, locally sourced royal Tiso pepper sauce. It's in mild, hot, and extra hot flavors for the pepper eaters and non-pepper eaters because of added flavor it has on food. Hear from the founders and a passionate customer.
Hi, my name is Queen, with my husband Felix. We are co-owners of a business called QF Services, and at the meantime, we do produce this delicious hot pepper sauce called Royal Tiso. Royal Tiso is a product made from love. Yeah, it's a long story. When I met my husband, he was a picky eater, so I started trying different things, trying different spices, something to make him eat. So I came up with Royal Tiso. Royal Tiso is sold across major cities in Canada, like we are in Calgary, Edmonton, Quebec, Ottawa. We also have it sold in Houston in the US. And also we have our online presence on Facebook, Instagram. We have an online website where you can also get a product from. Oh, major farmers market, Airdrie Farmers Market, Best Buy Farmers Market. And we hope to really go across the nation with this product. Royal Tiso on every table, that's our dream. It has 3 flavors, mild, hot, and extra hot.
This is a happy customer for Royal Tiso.
So
this is really good stuff. I put it on chicken twice now and put it on a hamburger. It's got great flavor, got some great little heat to it. I enjoyed it very much.
Segment 8. What are our community announcements this week? Get to know some of the programs offered by Solomon College in Edmonton? Please contact 780-431-1515 or info@solomoncollege.ca.
And I'm here today to talk to you about 3 employment programs that Solomon College delivers. The first is our Connections to Employment program, which focuses on preparing newcomers to work in the retail sector. Secondly, we have our Food Service Supervisor Preparation Program, which supports newcomers to develop skills to work in the food services sector. And our final employment training program is our Quest Key Workplace Essential Skills Training Program, which is designed to help newcomers build warehouse technology skills to work in the warehousing sector.
The force of what the multicultural communities can do here in Edmonton can be felt as far as Ottawa, as re-elected Edmonton Centre MP Randy Boissonneau becomes a minister in the new Canadian government cabinet. Now, you can say that your voices in Edmonton are heard as far as Ottawa, as Randy becomes the minister.
Let's just say that those kind of decisions are made by other people.
These words are those of re-elected Edmonton Centre MP Randy Boissonneau to Diversity TV on Elections Day.
And what I can say is the focus of my job is to do the work as the Member of Parliament for Edmonton Centre. Those of you who knew my team and I when we served from 2015 to 2019, you will know that we served over 2,400 people in 4 years, and that's the work we want to do again. We want to reunite families. We want to help people with their old age security and their GIS claims. We want to make sure that we do the best job we can at the constituency level, and we're going to make sure that we reach out. And the scheduling is the scheduling. Our job is to engage with voters, and it's our job to reach out and to connect, to make sure that we have town halls, that we have the ability to listen to the evolving needs of people in Edmonton, and that we bring that clear voice from Edmontonians, from Albertans, to our caucus colleagues in Ottawa, and that we make sure that nobody in the Liberal government is guessing what Edmonton and Alberta's needs are.
Today, that decision has been made, and re-elected Edmonton Centre MP Randy Boissonneau is appointed the minister. The popular newly elected Calgary MP George Shahal was absent from the list. The new Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship is Sean Fraser. Ahmed Hussein becomes the face of diversity and inclusion in Canada as he stays in cabinet as Minister of Housing and Diversity and Inclusion. Mary Nam maintains her position as Minister of International Trade, Export Promotion, Small Business and Economic Development. Pablo Rodriguez becomes the Minister of Canadian Heritage and Quebec Lieutenant. We have an extensive list of all newly appointed ministers at www.diversitymag.ca. Edmonton Chamber of Commerce is reaching out to multicultural business associations.
Diversity is very, very important for the Chamber, and it's certainly a key initiative for me, a strategy for me. We want to, not only in terms of geography, but demographically, broaden our reach into the business community. So we are currently working with, First Nations and Métis communities, the LGBTQ community, the Chinese business community. We're trying to engage more with the Indo business community. So organizations that haven't necessarily been exposed to the Chamber, which is a very important business organization, one of the most influential in Canada. We want that diversity. You know, when I look at diversity in a very important way, and I'd liken it to travel. Travel, in my view, is one of the best forms of education. And the reason why it's one of the best forms of education is it gives you the opportunity to experience different languages, different cultures, and it just makes us more worldly. And so having that diversity, different perspectives, makes, you know, businesses stronger.
Africa Center shares its mentorship program with a past participant sharing some of her experience about the program.
So my name is Yawa. I'm currently 23 years old. I'm a recent graduate from the University of Alberta. I finished a degree in psychology with a minor in biology. I'm currently working as a mental health program manager with the Africa Center, as well as a collaborative known as the Edmonton COVID Rapid Response Collaborative, which has been really fun and new for me. And I'm currently pursuing or looking to pursue a master's degree in counseling psychology. It was very different for me because normally I'm a person that's like, you know, I don't need a mentor and, you know, I know what I'm doing. So I was reluctant to join at first. However, one of the coordinators for that program, who I know, mentioned it to me. She thought it would be a good idea. And she really emphasized that there'd be somebody that I would be a good match with. So there was a therapist who was a mentor, and they were kind of working in the field that I wanted to do. So that kind of propelled me to join the program. And I learned a lot from her in terms of how to cope with failure, how to implement borders, personal borders with your relationships with yourself, also how to conflict resolution with people that you didn't have boundaries with. So I think my main 3 takeaways would be those. And I didn't have that before going into the mentorship program, and they're not the best now, but it's better than nothing, which is what I had before I kind of underwent the program. I'm on the right track. So I think I have tools, I have skills, I have resources now for getting to where I want to go. So even in the beginning of the year, I made like a vision board with my goals for the year, and I shared it with my mentor. And she would ask me questions about specific things that helped me reflect on my goals and how I could actually achieve them. So, and she made it me understand that even if I don't complete everything, even if I don't, you know, excel in certain things, like that is okay. Like, even though my goals for the end of the year, I still have time after that. It's just my effort is what's the most important. So I think compared to where I was when I started the program, compared to where I am now, and even though the program has ended, I still talk to her about my new job. I still talk to her about my future plans. So the best part is that it doesn't end after the program ends. It's still a resource that you can use and someone you can talk to after, which I think is really important. Definitely, especially I got really lucky. It's somebody that was like, you know, I'm a Black woman. She's a Black woman too. She's doing exactly what I want to do. You know, when I graduate, when I, you know, get the degree that I want, and it's even gotten to the point. So for the program I want to do, I need, you know, a placement. I need to do a practicum, and she's offered, you know, come and work for me after. So I could never have done that without the program. You know, having a placement before I even enter, you know, graduate school is something that's really cool, I think. So it's something I would definitely recommend, even if you think you don't need it, because that was me too. Thought I didn't need it, didn't see any value in it, and it kind of added way more value than I could have ever done if I was just, you know, by myself for the last 6 months.
This is all we had for you this week. Thank you for watching Diversity TV Community Newscast. Be the first to get our community newscast as it happens. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification on our Diversity TV YouTube channel. We are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Our website is www.diversitymag.ca. See you next week, because when it's Friday, it's your newscast from Diversity TV. Thank you for watching.